done our cleaning and everything is now dry and it is ready for conditioning lotion. And we're going to shake that down. And this is the fun part because you know it's good for it. You know it's like, oh, yes, give me some conditioning. All right, so this has sort of some of the lotion is sticking on the side, looks kind of grody, right? So we'll just kind of sort of prepare our cloth so it's not sloppy. There we go. Because you don't want to overdo, you got to be able to do the whole bag. All right. Here. See, now it's not a big goopy mess, right? Okay. So I'm going to fold this so it's like a little pad, okay? And I'm going to place my hand inside the bag again. And where do I start? That's right, on the bottom. You guys get A's for knowing that answer. Oh, little piece of plastic. Get that off of there. All right. So this is just basically bag 101. Okay, so you see that? Nice little circles. And this time I'm using a little bit more pressure because I'm actually trying to push something into the leather. Okay, and that's nice. And you don't have to get crazy about taking that off right away because it's a very thin amount and we're going to be doing some buffing and try and help it. So it can go ahead and absorb some of that. In this case, not going to hurt anything, probably a good thing. So next we do our sides. There we go, doing the sides. Again, I have my hand inside. I'm supporting this bag. It's not flying all over. I am in control. You're in control. Do not worry. This is why you can have nice things. All right. Moving to the sides. Whatever you do, don't get frustrated. If you get frustrated or you had somebody call you and make you feel unhappy or say something mean or whatever, or gossip, just don't pick up your bag. It's not the right time, okay? Don't. You ever see people clean angry and they're like, and they're hurting things? Then you're really unhappy. So not only did someone do something to make you unhappy, you've done something to yourself. So no tears, okay? Don't spa angry. This is your special time for just you and your bag and think happy thoughts. Okay. So now I'm working towards the back. And if you're not getting enough, of course, you can always just flip your cloth to a spot that has a little bit more lotion. Again, less is more. I'm just kind of going over each section. I'm using probably, like about a medium pressure. You see I've got some of that black coming off. So that, most likely because I'm using a lotion, because like dissolves like, this is probably old polish or something. I never put colored polish on a bag. We'll talk about that. Don't put colored polish on a bag. You don't want to look smart wearing your white shirt and then all of a sudden you look like an Oreo because you have black on your freaking shirt. That's not cool. It's not nice. And it's hard to carry that off as a good look. I mean, maybe you can. I can't. Okay. When you're working with these straps, again, kind of like the harness, I'm just going to turn this over to the side so you can see that. See? Just kind of really make sure I'm getting in that. And don't worry about going over this hardware, okay? That's fine. It's not going to hurt anything. But you want to make sure you're getting to the back of that strap. Of course, straps, always you want to make sure you do extra on a strap because they get a lot of bending. They get a lot of wear and tear. That's kind of why I have these smile marks. There's a lot of bending going on there. A lot of smiling. But that's okay. You know? Let's just say these are happy marks on the bag from being used. It's no point in being beautiful if you don't get to be out and about, right? Okay. And then the last panel is always your front panel, your last external panel, I should say. And I'm just flipping this again, getting some nice stuff. Don't worry about going over this. There, your gold mark, you should be just fine. There we go. This leather is just going, oh, thank you. See, and you can feel good about yourself. Can't guarantee you'll feel good about yourself all the time, but you do this kit, you're going to feel good about yourself at least for 20 minutes. And isn't that nice? Something we can kind of rely upon. Everything else is going to heck. You can just do a nice spa and everything will be quiet for you for just a little while. Okay. And yes, I do condition the inside of a bag too. People, they're like, oh, I cleaned it. Yeah, well, it's still leather. And this inside lining is attached to the outside lining. So you want to be able to make sure you're not just driving conditioner in from one side, but from both sides. And then it's a happier bag. You don't want the inside drying and shrinking and the outside is soft and then it starts doing weird buckling things. That would be the extreme. But on a very, very microscopic level, that is what's happening. And that's when the glue starts giving loose. There is glue actually with the inside panel leather to the outside panel leather. It's not what's holding it together, but it does help keep some straightness to it when they're stitching, and that's why it's there. It's okay if it gives loose over time. That's fine. It's not what's holding the bag together. It's not glue. All right. I'm doing my clochette, and I'm going to do my strap. Okay. What do you want to make sure you do? Make sure you do the places you can't see. So I'm just going to have to make myself a little finger. Can I go in there? It's like cleaning an ear, huh? Okay. There we go. And always make sure you do that area that the keys are attached to. And I say go ahead and just really don't worry about soaking that with some conditioner. That's a good thing. And this conditioner is not a heavy oily one, so you don't have to worry about it rotting your stitches. Some people go, oh, hey, it's really good for this saddle. It must be good for this. No, not necessarily true. And definitely not in this case. You know, when you use oils on saddles, they're unfinished leathers. When you have finish, it's kind of like a paint that's on top. And if you were to take, have you ever seen like plastic or polyurethane or something, you start dumping oil on it, what happens? Well, destroys it. That's why we never use baby wipes. They're like, oh, it's good for my baby. It's not good for your bag. Your bag is your baby, but it's not your little baby. So do not use baby wipes because it will destroy your finish. You're like, oh, Martha Stewart said to do it. I'm like, Martha, look, I think you're great, but don't say that anymore. It's not nice. Not nice, these bags. Okay, just had to say that. All right, so now we've actually completed the whole bag, except we're going to buff it out, which is really the fun part. So anyway, how do you think we did? I think we did good. I don't know if you can see this, but see how this leather is flexing a little bit? Isn't that nice? Look at that. It's not so stiff, right? And it doesn't look all ooky. It looks, you want to have some flex. Nice flex. That means it's a happy bag. It's not squeaking or squealing. Okay, so we're going to I'm just putting the stuff aside. Normally we just have it on top of your field. All right, so now we're going to take out our fluffy cloth, and it is so named because it is fluffy. Here we go. I always like to put things in such a manner that it's easy to handle in my size of my hand. You don't want to just, things flying out. You can control this. This is controllable. So where do we start? The bottom of the bag. You're right. See, now everybody got it right this time. Okay. So when you're buffing, one of the things you want to do, you're not making little tiny circles. You're going to choose a direction, kind of stick with it. So now I'm going to kind of choose a direction. And I'm going to go back and forth now. In this case, yes, you can work on your triceps and your biceps a little bit. And I'm just going to buff. There. See, getting a nice little sheen. Okay. It says, ooh. Then I'm going to kind of push a little bit up against that seam. There. See? A little out of control with my fluffy cloth. Okay. And now we go to the sides. And you go ahead and you can put some pressure this time, because this you're trying to actually get that sheen up. Now with a lotion like this, you're not going to get a super high shine. You're going to get a nice sheen. Okay, so that's just a nicely conditioned leather. For the super high shine, I'll show you how to do that next. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the rear. Normally I'd be sitting down, so we're standing. We're a little different. Okay. And you can see that. Isn't that looking nice, huh? And it feels delicious, feels wonderful. Doesn't feel goopy or sticky or tacky. You know, there are some people that have conditioners out there that what's going to happen is it's basically like a dust magnet or a dirt magnet because it would feel sticky. That's why I love these products, even though they're my products, but I love them because you're just going to have success and it's going to work out well. Okay, so this bag has been spa'd beautifully, and you would normally just put everything back. But I'm going to show you just one more thing which people always want to know about, and that's how do I polish my box calf bag. And I do make this a separate kit because a lot of people, what they think is, oh, I'll just polish my bag, keep polishing it. If you keep adding polish on top of your bag every day, every year, because it's not shiny enough, underneath that poor bag, the leather isn't being conditioned. So I say, you know, twice a year, give it a good cleaning. At least once a year, get the polish off, condition it, and then you can build your polish back up. But that way it's not, you know, like, help me, I'm just really, really thirsty. And that'll keep you having a nice shiny surface instead of, you can see here, you've got some of this fine sort of rippling to the finish. And that happens when it's gotten dry. And you really can't go back from that. But you can keep it from getting worse by taking care of it. All right, so normally after the end of a spa, you would then take all your goodies. Oh, look at that. I have one other thing. Wonder what this is. Ah, it's my spa buddy. Look at that. See? You should have probably taken this out first because then you're like, I'm a little nervous. And then you look at him and you're like, I'm not nervous. I have a spa buddy. Everything's going to be okay. Look, a thank you mint. Maybe you forgot to eat breakfast. You could have that and you're not feeling like that. Ah, and a fortune. Come on, that's fun. Okay, so what do I get here? Ah, be the light which illuminates a journey. Well, I guess that's what we're doing. Isn't that apropos? Okay, so take your little spa buddy and you take your bag and you would put it all back together and off you would go. In this case, oh, and you can collect all 12. All right. In this case, we're going to go on and actually do another thing, which is going to be, you just wrap everything up. Look, isn't that nice and tidy? Take your little gloves off, just like that. And you just toss this away.